Howdy Pitmasters, welcome to the first episode of the first season of the new format GrillCave Banter show. I am seriously excited about this new series where each episode I'm going to invite on a guest from the local low and slow barbecue community and we're going to talk all things barbecues, brews and good times. So, the first guest I've got on for this episode is a guy a lot of you might know in our local Melbourne scene. He's doing some awesome content, he loves backyard barbecue and he's putting out some awesome cooks. If you don't follow him on Instagram, it's BrothersBBQue. So, without further ado, we will get Phil on from BrothersBBQue right now. Alright, just dialing me in.
Hey mate, how you going?
Hey man, how are you?
Good, thanks brother. Thanks for having me.
Thanks man. Thanks for being lucky number one, first guest, eh?
Oh mate, your show can only go up from here, so.
That's it then. No man, I mean, I saw all the content and everything you're putting out, and you got some good ass cooks, man, and I knew I had to reach out and have you on as one of our guests, so lucky number one. So before we get into anything, got a beer there, man?
I do. Good old Pirate Life.
One of choice, Pirate Life, if you're watching, come on.
Mate,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing better in summer. Pirate Life in hand, a few steaks on the barbie. Can't go wrong.
That's it, man. Yeah, good. Well, yeah, cheers. Thank God it's Friday, hey?
Yeah, 100%, man. Definitely.
So, man, before we get into too much, I mean, if any of the people watching haven't followed your stuff, I mean, you put out some awesome content. Some of the food you like grilling and smoking up is bloody beautiful. So, I suppose I really want to know is, what's your background? What was your introduction into, real barbecuing and real authentic stuff?
Yeah, man. Look, I've always loved from a young age cooking on a gas barbecue, right? So whenever there were family events, you'll always find me behind the barbecue with a pair of tongs, flipping those snags. And I always wanted to get into low and slow cooking, but it was so hard, man. Like once you get into it, you realize it's almost like a different language, right? It's a whole new dimension. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to get into it. So I picked myself up a $60 kettle from Bunnings, and I thought I'd give it a try. And I did my first cook. I thought this is pretty horrible. Otherwise, it's roast chicken taking 4 hours because I had no idea about ashing over briquettes and stuff like that. So just dump them in, let it light for about 5 minutes, then chuck it on, and it's just smouldering. So I thought, you know what, we'll get rid of this. And then lockdown came around through COVID, and I found myself watching a lot of barbecue pitmasters, and Myron Mixon, Tuffy Stone, and I thought, well, now's probably a good time to try to get back into it. So I jumped on YouTube and I found Aaron Palmer, Low and Slow Basics. I found a lot of his videos and I thought, holy crap, this bloke's like explaining it in a way that I can actually understand. So jumped on Facebook Marketplace, bought myself a secondhand kettle, and that was probably 2.5 years ago, man, and haven't looked back. Just absolutely loved it. I did my first cook was quite funny. I put too much smoking wood on, a couple of wings. This thing's going off like an absolute steam train, and you're standing there like, this is the smoking life, right? It tasted absolutely horrible, but I was like, this is it. But it just grew from there, dude. But once I started to learn about different cuts of meat, the processes. It's the best thing ever.
Oh, that's it, man. And it's funny you're talking about like that white acidy smoke. I mean, unless you know any better, that's what you think you're meant to get. It's smoking. So I remember when I first started, same sort of deal, except I went from gas grilling to I want to get into low and slow, and I went and bought an offset as like my first smoker, and like what a nightmare that ended up being. And it was like you had people telling you it's good and other people telling you it's not, and you don't know because you got nothing to compare it to. And it's definitely a different journey from what Aussies really call having a barbecue compared to barbecuing an actual barbecue food, and totally different beast. So once you're in, you're hooked, eh?
Yeah, that's the first couple of cooks, like, you're just running the most dirtiest of smoke ever, and you're just like, oh, this tastes horrible, but you're like, oh, but this is what it's all about, the more smoke, the better. It's just funny looking back over the last 2.5 years, and you're just like, some of the stuff I used to do, and back then, I think it was awesome, So,
now you see the thin blue smoke, you're like, right.
That's it. You're like, that's what they mean by smoking meat, So.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So from there, what ended up getting you into like posting it all over socials and starting BrothersBBQue? Like, what happened there?
Yeah, I think when I started this newfound hobby, I think friends and family got sick of me sending them photos. So I thought, you know what, I'll create this Instagram page, only thinking a few friends and family would like it and follow it. And then I think after a couple of months, man, it just grew. People actually started liking and following my content. And
Yep.
then it just started skyrocketing. Like, I put one post up, got like 74,000 reach, and it's just like, holy hell, like I discovered there's a whole barbecue community.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of people, man. There's a lot of people like-minded, love backyard barbecuing, and it just became this thing where I met a lot of awesome people, still meeting heaps of awesome people now, and just learning from them.
Yep.
And I guess as you start to get more people behind you and following your content, it really pushes you to grow. And and as you know, with barbecuing, right, you can't learn everything. You're always learning, so you're always wanting to share and sort of showcase what you pick up.
100%, man. I mean, it's crazy because it's one of those communities that you don't know it's there until you're in it, but once it's there, it's forever expanding, man. I mean, like the amount of people, you're always meeting someone new. There's always someone willing to give advice. There's no egos in barbecue. It's like a family, man. And that's one of the things I love. Like I've been doing barbecue for 5.5 years or so, but it wasn't till end of last year where I actually found a community of all these guys doing the same thing, and it was like, whoa, crap! Like I knew it was growing in Australia, but not at this rate. And like I said, there's no egos, and everyone's there to help, and like everyone's willing to share the information they have. No, everyone's treating it like one big team, and it's absolutely awesome to be a part of.
Yeah, that's awesome. And also, like a lot of the people that I've met over the last couple of years, man, there's some of them that I talk to almost daily, not even about barbecue, you just form these friendships as well. And it's all about, it just started over that common interest of barbecue. So it's an incredible community.
That's skyrocketed with COVID, man. I think, people in isolation, feeling alone, and the fact that people could feel like they've got mates to talk to and that there was something to bond over, and it was barbecue or not. And I found the same thing, the group of guys that are all in this close-knit thing, it's like, shit, you feel like you're a part of something bigger than, it's not just the cook, it ain't just the food. And I think that's the subculture of it that you don't get unless you're in it. So, man, it's something awesome. So, what sort of pits are you running at the moment? Because I know you had I think you had the Oklahoma Joe pit, barrel pit, didn't you? The drum, yeah?
Bronco drum, yeah. So
Bronco,
started out on a Weber kettle, and I think like a lot of people who start with kettles, mate, you just slowly start to accumulate them. So I got one, got a second one, got a third one. And then I wanted to get into something a bit more. So I thought, you know what, a great lockdown purchase was the Oklahoma Joe's Bronco drum, it's an incredible unit, man. Like you can run hot and fast, you can run low and slow. And on Oklahoma Joe's as well, pretty pumped. But over the last week, I've been able to announce that I've recently partnered up with the team at Oklahoma Joe's. So I'm pretty keen to showcase.
That's awesome, man.
Thanks, brother. So I'm real
No,
keen
that's a big achievement. I mean, it shows the content you're putting out there, man, that people pay attention, and that's well done, big achievement. So
thanks, man. Yeah, they reached out to me a couple of months ago, and I was saying to my wife, I'm like, it's surreal from someone who started this page just to share with friends and family to see it grow to this. So it's been awesome. So I'm real keen to work with the team at Oklahoma Joe's and showcase their units and just show what they can do. Like the drum's the best. I'm actually running the drum. I fired it up on Saturday night about 9 o'clock. Run it overnight. Refuel about 7 in the morning on Sunday and keep it going as well. So, but those are the main things, man. It's the drum and kettles.
Yeah, nice. Well, that's good, man. You're going to do them justice. I mean, the content you put out is fire, and I'm keen to see what you do, man. So it's awesome.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
So what's on the cards now that you've got that? You're growing, your socials account, doing all that. I mean, what else is on the cards? Just increasing the rate of content, or you planning on doing any comps or anything like that, or?
Yeah, man. Look, at this stage, so my partner and I, we're expecting our third child in a couple of weeks, so that's exciting. So
nice.
Once the new one arrives, we've got a little bit of a routine. I want to get into competitions. But looking at some of the teams competing at the moment, Butcher's Axe, Big Smoke Barbecue, man, those guys are absolutely blowing it out of the water. And I had the opportunity to hang with the guys in Butcher's Axe earlier this year, and just to see their setup and what they do was crazy, man. And I thought, you know what, this is what I want to try, just to experience it, just to get in there, dip my toes in. But comps are definitely on the scene, hopefully come middle of next year. So I definitely want to get amongst those and just sort of see where it goes, man. I think for me, the biggest thing is just enjoying what I do, right? Having fun, barbecuing. That's what it's about, man.
That's it, man. it's enjoying it and, you know, riding that wave and just making sure you're enjoying it, not overdoing it to the point where you end up getting sick of it, which is hard to do. But I mean, you never want to add too much to the plate. But that's cool.
I don't think I could ever get sick of beef shorties and chicken wings.
It's a silly thing to say now I think about it, but yeah. No, I saw the Butcher's X guys at Meatstock and what they were doing. I can't remember. I know they're either competing or they had something going on there at a stand set up there. And that man, that ute and that trailer they got set up is a beauty. Right? It's a nice house, man. Yeah.
Yeah, when I saw them this year, I think they had like all their drums, their offsets going, and it was funny because when I bought my drum, I purely used it just for long, low, and slow cooks. That's all I did. Light up the charcoal basket, chuck some ribs on, let it go. But after watching those guys and see them absolutely thrash their drums, man, like they truly put them to their paces. It wasn't until after that I thought, you know what, I've got this awesome unit sitting there. I need to start doing more with it, and I guess they're what really inspired me to use the drum differently and just do so much with it.
Yeah, nice, man. That's the thing. Some of these pits are super versatile. Like we all know that with, you know, ceramic egg type grills and stuff. Yeah. But you look at the drum smokers or even the bullet smokers. I mean, you know, you look at like the ProQ and that, where they're completely modular. You can get the heat up to, you know, 500 plus Fahrenheit on those things, or bring them right down to 200 Fahrenheit. I mean, they're that versatile and they can take a lot. I mean, the enamel on those things are. And I was the same. I never really used them full to like their full capacity. And then you start seeing what some guys can do with one or two single pits, and you're like, man, they're grilling, they're smoking, they're baking.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like with the drum, right? I can run cooks on it for about 12 hours, and that's what I used to do, just pure low and slow. But now I can do, you know, reverse sear some steaks, so smoke them for about an hour, and then really open that charcoal up, and this thing's going off like a furnace, man. Like the first time I thought I'd try do a reverse sear on the drum, I took the steak out, let it to rest, but I left the lid open, so there's a lot of oxygen getting in there. I went back out to the drum, and this thing's going off like an actual furnace. Like it is crazy. I was just like, holy hell! Like, I had to shut the lid because this thing's like flames truly coming out of it. So, but no, they're awesome.
Yeah, nice, man. Yeah, I'm the same with like using the kettle grill recently. Like I went straight from sort of the gas grilling, then had a gas smoker, then went straight to the offset, and everything has just gotten like escalated to slower and lower, and you know, using local hardwoods and stuff like that. But then it was reverting back to going to the hot and fast searing. And now that I've got the kettle grill, you know, playing with things like reverse seared steaks or just completely fire things up to a high heat. Like I kind of missed that phase. It's sort of been cool to go back and do that and then use those other pits like the drums and the bullet smokers to be like, wow, you can really fire these things up heavy and then get everything out of them. So, it's good fun. Yeah. So what's your go-to cook? I mean, all right, Saturday night, you've got as much time in the world, unlimited budget. What are you cooking? What are we smoking?
For me, man, it's beef shorties. Beef shorties are the best. Like, I'll take beef shorties hands down over a brisket. I just love them. They're a fun cook. They taste amazing. They're so versatile. You can do so much with them, you know.
Oh, you can, yeah.
Yeah, so beef shorties are my go-to.
Nice. And what are we using? What sort of rub we got on that?
My favourite rub combo at the moment is probably low and slow basics garlic goals. That's got some amazing undertones in it. And then I'll hit it with maybe some smoky pastures brisket. That's really good stuff, man.
Yeah, good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but beef shorties are the best. Either beef shorties or I'll do a cook-up of wings maybe at least once or twice a fortnight. You can't go wrong with wings.
Yeah, wings, short. I'll tell you what, the shorties, especially at the moment, they seem to be the cheapest cut of meat you can get too, and quality as well. Yeah. I'll be messing around with a lot of the, I don't usually go for like grass-fed sort of stuff, but I found like you got to find a right butcher that has the right fat marbling on them. Otherwise, you end up trimming and then there's no meat left. But I found like the hack is looking for the grass-fed ones because they've naturally already got a thin marbling through it. You're not trimming much, so you get more meat for the weight that you're paying for the ribs themselves. So get the right ones, man.
There's some beef shorties where by the time you've trimmed the fat off, like you've lost a lot of your meat already, and they come out real thin. I think a couple of weeks ago, I got a nice solid rack of beef shorties from Kelly's Meats. Right? They were incredible. They were just, the marbling on them was awesome, and they just probed so well, and they went down in absolutely.
Can't go wrong, man. Everything at Kelly's is quality. You're not going to find any crap. Even the stuff that's not all the brands they import, but all the stuff too that they source and just put under their, you know, Kelly's generic umbrella. Even that, it's all quality, 100%.
Yeah, I've got 2 lamb shoulders which I had delivered from Kelly's on Thursday, and that's what I love, man. Like, I live in Mulgrave, so you know, I think I drove out to Kelly's once just because I wanted a tomahawk steak, just to try a tomahawk, and I think all around it was a 2-hour trip, and then I realised they delivered. So I had some lamb shoulders delivered on Thursday, and can't wait to cook them up. They look amazing.
Yeah, nice, man. I'm about maybe a 25-minute drive from them, like sort of just down a dusty road, and then there you are in Shorties. But it always ends up being like, they're not far, so if I want to go pick any bit of meat up, I'll just do it. But I always end up spending a fortune coming home with a carload of either smoking woods or 3 new different rubs I haven't tried. I went there, go to get the rack of ribs and come back with a bloody, M4 Wagyu brisket or something like it.
Yeah,
always happens.
When was it? It was one weekend, and we were kid free one night, and I said to my wife, I'm like, let's get a tomahawk. So I drove all the way out to Kelly's, picked up this Cape Grim tomahawk, came back and reverse set it, and I tell you what, after having that, I was like, I don't want any other steak any other way.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible.
Something so manly about eating like a caveman too, like just that.
That's it, this massive, this huge tomahawk that took up the whole passenger seat. So.
Have you had a seatbelt on?
Yeah, of course, man. Safety first.
Nah, nice, man. So what's your wood of choice? So what do you use? Are you using briquettes or lump, or using?
So in my in the drum, I'll run pure lump, lump charcoal. But in terms of like, if I'm using a kettle, I'll use olive tip briquettes, and for smoking wood, I use a lot of natural smoke stuff. That stuff's incredible. I've tried different brands of smoking wood, and it's not the same. Like, you get some batches that are just quite horrible. But yeah, I absolutely love natural smoked cherry and my oil. Can't go past it, man.
Yeah, no, nice, man. That's good. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, this has been awesome talking to you. I mean, it's first episode, but I think we've had a win. I mean, it's like yourself. There's plenty of other guys that'll be open to having a chat. It's the excitement I think we get. You know, I reach out to guys like yourself. You're so quick to go, yep, let's talk, because anytime they have an opportunity to talk about barbecue and beers and all that, it's just always a good conversation. So I appreciate that coming on.
Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. What do you got on the weekend, mate? You smoking anything on the weekend?
I bought I don't know how good it's going to be, because the fat marbling doesn't look good, and I don't really like saying this because I don't usually go to Coles for my meat, but I saw just they had like a kind of crummy looking brisket point end, and I just grabbed it while I was there doing the grocery shop, because I thought at least out of it I can cut it up and shred it up and put it in some pies. So using the point end, I'll just make some brisket pies and we'll see how we go, and I'll probably do them. The plan's to do them on the bullet smoker, but if time gets away, I'll chuck them on the Traeger. That way I don't have to worry so much. But I avoid that if I can, just because the smoke from wood flavour just isn't the same. Whereas I like cutting up, I've got hickory logs that I've cut up and use that on the Matador, the bullet smoker. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, that's the plan. So.
You know what? There's actually, I've seen on Facebook a lot recently. There's a lot of people really rating the ribs from Aldi, pork ribs. So, man,
really?
I think over the last couple of weeks, I've seen so many people saying that they're getting real meaty ribs from Aldi. Pretty keen to duck in and give it a try. So, some pork ribs, man.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, and again, I suppose it's all how you cook it too. As long as the protein's there, like the meat's there, and you've got it's whatever you end up doing with it. It's just. It's like I would never go like looking at Coles and stuff like that. I've tried some of their baby backs before, and you're paying weight in bone and fat, and it's just like, not worth it. But I mean, Aldi are usually pretty good on price anyway. So if there's people saying they got a lot of thick meat on, it might be worth checking them out.
Yeah, for sure. Might go have a look tomorrow. Might be chucking some ribs on the barbecue on the weekend.
Yeah, nice. All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time. It's been a good chatting to you, and I hope we'll do it again at some point, man. So, cheers.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man. See ya.
See you later.